thinking you conquering it and you ain't, because it's all a plan.
You think you run a game and they run a game on you.
It's women out there that do their homework. They know everything about y'all because you tell on yourself on the gram and on social. So they know how to go get you.
This whole Shannon Sharpe mess, it's spiraling into straight madness. And now, Deion Sanders just stepped in, raising an eyebrow like, something here stinks. Shannon's caught in a $50 million lawsuit from Gabriela Zuniga, an OnlyFans model accusing him of wild stuff. But he's not staying quiet. He's firing back, calling it a straight-up setup and a desperate money grab. He even claims people in his own circle are secretly happy he's crashing out, like they're cheering on the sidelines while he's getting dragged. Ain't that crazy? He said folks close to him are watching him fall and loving it. But here's where things start getting real shady. This lawsuit just happens to drop right after the news breaks that Shannon was about to close a $100 million media deal. Days after, and guess what? That deal instantly got frozen.
Okay, it's getting clear now. Shannon Sharpe fumbled the bag for $100 million. Yes, $100 million is what he was about to be expected. And this is how it went. And now we're kind of understanding why it seemed like he wanted to negotiate and settle with his accuser for $10 million. And for those that don't know, Shannon Sharpe is being accused of having unwanted sex. And we all know when that happens, like the media is on the frenzy right now. But here's the part was where he dropped the bag. He was about to get $100 million. So we know how his podcast, Shay Shay, had been taken off. He literally just finished his contract as he was signed to Colin Cohard's podcasting group. But Shannon Sharpe was getting ready to be offered all.
Now, if that don't scream setup, what does? Deion Sanders ain't buying the just a coincidence narrative. He's saying this whole thing is too smooth, too perfectly timed, like someone had this all lined up. Shannon didn't just stumble into this mess. He says, nah, someone out there laid the trap and waited for the right moment to spring it. So now the question that's hanging in the air, who really wants to see Shannon fall? Who would move this slick to kill the biggest bag of his career right before it landed? There's another side to this chaos too. Some folks are saying Shannon Loki did this to himself. They're saying no one forced him to mess with that woman. Even if she was plotting, he still gave her the playbook. So maybe it was a setup, but Shannon might have handed her the tools to blow it all up. But here's the twist. If Deion's right and someone's actually pulling strings behind the scenes, then we're not just dealing with a messy situation. We're looking at a straight-up takedown. This might not be about drama. This could be about power, backdoor agendas, shady sabotage, and secret enemies playing the long game. So what really happened here? Did Shannon tick off the wrong people? Step on the wrong toes? Did he threaten something way bigger than we realize? Because when someone like Deion Sanders steps in and calls it out, that's not gossip, that's a warning sign. And while all this is unfolding, Shannon's world is crashing around him fast. The lawsuit ain't even reached court yet, but the allegations alone are shaking everything he built. From Hall of Fame NFL status to becoming a major voice in media, it's all hanging by a thread. He's already stepping back from his spot at First Take next to Stephen A. Smith, and people are whispering that this is just the start. Word on the street, Shannon was inches away from locking in a mind-blowing $100 million podcast deal. But now, that bag might be slipping clean out of his hands. And April 18th, just 3 days before Gabriela Zuniga came through swinging with that $50 million lawsuit, Front Office Sports dropped a bombshell. Shannon was about to lock in a massive media deal that would have shot him into a whole new tax bracket. And we're not talking about a little upgrade. This was an empire move. This deal wasn't just about Club Shay Shay. It included everything under his growing media umbrella. Nightcap, Club 520, The Bubba Dub Show, and even Humble Baddies. That's a full-blown cultural takeover right there, and it all started right after his wild sit-down with Cat Williams in January 2024. The same interview that broke the internet. Cat went nuclear, dragging half of Hollywood by name like he had receipts tucked in his socks. That episode shattered records and put Shannon's platform on a whole new level. From just a dope show to the spot for raw, unfiltered celebrity truth. But that viral moment might have come with a price. Because that Cat interview didn't just entertain fans, it rattled cages in Hollywood. And word is, some of the heavyweights up top weren't feeling it at all. Not just mad at Cat for going off, but mad at Shannon for handing him the mic. And now insiders are buzzing. Did that moment paint a big glowing target on Shannon's back? This lawsuit, It's starting to look less like random drama and more like a precision hit job. And backing that theory, none other than his longtime ride or die, Deion Sanders. These two go way back, and Prime's not just speculating, he's hinting something much deeper is in motion. Shannon's had Deion's back for years, especially when folks were clowning Prime over his coaching run at Colorado. While the media tried to spin narratives and critics threw shade, Shannon stood tall, defending Deion loud and proud every single time. Now, it's Deion's turn to ride for Shannon. And word is, he's not staying quiet. Insiders say Deion truly believes this whole lawsuit was cooked up months ago, way before it hit the headlines. According to folks close to him, Deion's convinced someone high up was gunning for Shannon from the start. And this messy case, that's just the opening move. And it ain't just Deion raising eyebrows. Even Stephen A. Smith, who used to throw shots at Shannon for walking away from that ESPN bag, has flipped his stance. Now he's saying it loud. People have been trying to bring Shannon down ever since that viral Cat Williams interview shook up Hollywood. That's a major switch up, especially coming from Stephen A. But wait, it gets even messier. Diddy's ex-bodyguard Gene Deal just dropped in with his 2 cents too. And guess what? He's calling out the timing, saying there's no way this lawsuit popping up right before Shannon's $100 million deal is some random accident. It's just way too convenient.
You see what happened? That had been going on for years. They let it build up. Shannon Sharpe, y'all know, he was about to sign $1 million contract. So now, they got to get out of it because they know what's about to happen. The only way they can stop this contract and stop this thing from happening is put this dirt out. It's time to drop it because they know if this ninja get 100 million in his pocket, it's going to be some real problems. Some real problems.
Still, not everyone's buying the whole "they're trying to take Shannon out" theory. Some fans are out here saying he needs to stop with the setup talk and take some accountability. Others are even firing shots at Deion, bringing up his own past when it comes to women, basically saying he should sit this one out. One user on X even posted, "Deion Sanders and Shannon Sharpe equals women bait." That comment exploded, and it wasn't long before folks joined in. Some dragged Deion, saying if he really had Shannon's back, he would have warned him to stay far away from young OnlyFans models who are clearly chasing clout. Another post hit hard. Where's Shannon's real crew? His brother Sterling? Deion? Somebody should have told him from the start to leave that girl alone. One fan didn't hold back at all. Shannon too old for this mess. He needs to sit down somewhere. People are fired up, and no matter how wild these takes are or how loud the timeline gets, this whole thing is turning into straight chaos. At this point, most fans are coming to the same conclusion. Shannon might have set himself up. Sure, maybe someone behind the scenes pulled strings to wreck that $100 million deal. Maybe that OnlyFans girl wasn't random. Maybe the whole thing was designed to explode right before he grabbed the bag of a lifetime. But even if that's the case, Shannon still walked straight into the fire with his eyes wide open. Let's not play. Grown men make grown choices. And while he was out here stacking media power moves, he still chose to mess with someone unpredictable. That decision, all on him. Plot or no plot, she wouldn't have had access unless he gave it to her. That's the truth that's stinging fans right now. He didn't just drop the bag, he walked it over and handed it off. And let's not forget, Shannon's not some fresh face. He's been in the spotlight for decades. He's a grown man pushing 60. He knows how this fame game works. He knows how fast things flip from legendary to liability with just one bad move. So people are asking, how you yelling setup when you basically walked yourself into the trap? And then there's that phone call, the one where Shannon allegedly says he's gonna choke the ish out of her. That moment right there, for a lot of folks, that was the final straw. Cause no matter what kind of bait she was dangling, no one forced those words out of his mouth. He said it. And once that audio hit the net, the internet pounced. And those texts, the ones where Gabriella allegedly told him to put a big black baby in me, folks ain't convinced she pulled that out of thin air. That kind of talk, way too specific. It's giving real, not random. People all over the internet are calling it out. Shannon was in way too deep, and a lot of folks think he got caught up in something he had no business touching. So honestly, nobody's shocked. He's not getting much sympathy. Fans ain't lining up to defend him. Not this time. Yeah, Maybe someone powerful didn't want Shannon touching that $100 million bag. Maybe some folks behind the scenes were nervous about how big he was getting. But let's be real. Shannon didn't just crack the door open. He swung it wide and let the storm rush in. When you're operating at that level, when you're this close to changing your life forever, your image has to be locked down like Fort Knox. You can't be out here playing with fire and thinking you won't get burned. Deion Sanders might still be holding him down. A few diehard fans might still be rooting for a comeback, but the streets, they're saying it plain, Shannon did this to himself. He had the ball, the spotlight, and the momentum, and then fumbled the bag hard when it mattered most. But now we want to hear from you. Was this really a full-on setup from the start? You think Gabriella was planted to derail Shannon's rise and snatch that deal off the table? Or did Shannon invite all this chaos into his own world? And here's the bigger question. Even if it was a setup, does that actually change how you see him now? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives in celeb chaos. This story is still unfolding, so stay tuned, and we'll see you on the next one.